Hey, it's Relationships at Work, a leadership podcast helping you build workplace connection, improve culture, and avoid blind spots. I'm Russel Lolacher, the host of the show, communications leadership expert, a couple of decades of experience in both those areas, and a whole heap of curiosity on how we can make the workplace a better place. Just like you, curious, just like you. Thanks so much for joining us on yet another episode. This one being a mini episode, which come out every Thursday. These are a little shorter, a little tighter, a little more to the point. They're just quick, valuable bits of information to help you with your mindset for the week ahead. The focus this time around, we talk about leaders being the last to speak in a meeting, right? Everybody else should get their voices heard, regardless of where they're from, their backgrounds, introvert, extrovert. Everybody should be heard before the leader. This episode, I'm challenging that fact, because leaders can't always speak last. There's a moment in leadership that says everything. When your team looks at you, not with frustration or anger, but with quiet, uncertain eyes. They're not asking for miracles. They're not demanding perfection. They're just waiting for direction, waiting for clarity, waiting for you. And yet too often, leaders wait until they've figured it out, waited until they have the perfect solution, waited until they feel confident enough to say something meaningful, or they don't want to look stupid, so they wait. But in the waiting, our silence, your silence, becomes the message. In my time speaking with leaders and experts on relationships at work, and in my own experience, this theme has surfaced again and again. The dangerous cost of delayed communication. When a leader holds back, doesn't say anything, intentionally or otherwise, they unintentionally send the message that they're not paying attention, not leading, or worse, that their team doesn't matter. That's not what they want to communicate, but that is what they communicate when they don't talk, answer, respond. And the longer the wait, the louder that silence becomes. Leadership hesitation can come from a well-meaning place. It really can. Leaders don't mean to be deafening in their silence, but we want to make the right call. We're overwhelmed sometimes with competing priorities, so we hold back. We don't want to give half answers. We don't want to appear unsure. We want others to have a chance to speak first. But this pause, it has its consequences, because while we're collecting data, perfecting the plan, or spinning in decision paralysis, our team is left drifting, uncertain of goals, confused about priorities, and growing anxious by the minute. They don't need all the answers. That is a faux pas that we often have, that they need to know everything. They don't. They don't need all the answers. They just need us to lead. When leaders delay speaking up, trust erodes, because silence breeds stories. Your team will start filling in the blanks with assumptions, because if we're not talking, they are to themselves and to the other members of the team on what they think is going on, what they're assuming is going on. And usually those assumptions aren't generous. When leaders delay, engagement also drops. I mean, why try harder in going in direction when the leader doesn't seem to know where we're going? That delay can hurt the culture. The culture can suffer. A team unsure of its direction doesn't just stall, it splinters. Let's be clear. Our teams don't want a TED Talk. They want clarity. They want forward motion. Even a simple check-in like, here's what I know so far, here's what we're working through, and I'll keep you posted as things develop. That is miles better than silence, giving them something, anything. It shows presence, it shows care, and above all, it shows leadership. Your presence and willingness to communicate early is the direction your team is looking for. Because at the end of the day, silence isn't neutral. It's a leadership choice, one that either creates connection or deepens the divide. The question we have this week for our mini episode, what do our team members need to hear from us right now, even if it's not the full picture? Well, if we don't have every bit of detail, if we don't know exactly what's going on, we can reinforce clarity and direction. That's one of the first things we can do. because we can ensure there's a clearly defined vision, mission, or goal, and then regularly check in with the team to ensure no one's confused or left behind as priorities shift. Another thing we can share is we can send a working through it update. Don't wait for the perfect solution. Send a quick team update sharing what we know, what's being decided, and what's still uncertain. It shows that there's a process, that there's thinking, which is still activity. It's presence, because presence matters more than polish. Another thing we can do is hold a clarity huddle. Get the team together, even for 10 minutes. Maybe it's a stand-up, whatever it looks like. Ask your team what they need clarified and let them know what to expect next. Even a micro conversation can realign everyone, answering questions, being there for them. And last, something we can do to help our team members during these moments where we don't have all the answers, we can make imperfect communication a norm. Normalize sharing work in progress ideas. The more we lead out loud, even in draft form, the more our team trusts us, okay? They trust that you're in it with them, not disappearing into a decision-making cave, right? We may not have all the answers, but we're there to help, we're there to support, we're there to direct the best we can. Be honest and vulnerable about it. Leadership doesn't wait. It shows up. Even when it's uncertain, and there's a lot of change happening in many organizations, that is a litmus test for leadership. Because even when it's messy, that's when leadership is especially needed. And that'll do it for another mini episode of Relationships at Work, the leadership podcast helping you build workplace connection, improve that workplace culture, and avoid blind spots. My name is Russel Lolacher. Thank you so much once again for joining me. All right, take easy. We'll see you back next week, this time for another mini episode. And of course, every Monday, I'm dropping an interview with one of our usually internationally, globally known guests. We'll do that again soon. Take care.